Hello everybody, welcome to this week's episode of The County Seat. I'm your host Chad Booth, and we are bringing you our show today from the Kanab Middle School in Kanab, Utah, located in Kane County on the southern edge of the state of Utah. This is where the controversy is for our topic today. If you'll remember, back in February we brought you a story about the end of a comment period on a proposal to withdraw mining claims on the Arizona Strip for hard rock mining, basically uranium. Well, since the closure of that comment period, the BLM has sifted through nearly 295,000 comments about the future of uranium mining here. It is all being incorporated into the environmental impact statement, which will then be forwarded to the Secretary of the Interior to make a final decision. Because there was so much information, the Secretary has issued an emergency withdrawal, basically a moratorium that will be in place for 6 months while they prepare to make the final statement or the final policy on whether we will have a future in uranium mining on the Arizona Strip. This is very important to the local economies, some pro, some con, and that will be our topic today. To bring you up to speed, here is Malia Bascom.
About a month ago, Secretary of the Interior Ken Salazar announced a 6-month emergency withdrawal of approximately 1 million acres of federal lands near Grand Canyon National Park from hard rock mining exploration, while the Department of the Interior continues to evaluate whether to withdraw the lands in the Arizona Strip from new mining claims for the next 20 years. Now, while valid existing claims are not affected by this announcement, some of the local governments are upset because they see it as an attack on rural economies that could benefit from the creation of jobs from future mining.
We're concerned that if the industry is denied the ability to go in and mine, that the jobs will dry up in San Juan County.
And the Department of Interior seems to be influenced by the politics of these things. And on the environmental side, you've got a huge army of people and resources that are trying to affect their decision rather than the science of it.
The uranium ore found in the Arizona Strip has some unique characteristics that make it a valuable resource to the United States.
I think what makes this area different than some of the other uranium-bearing areas is the quality. It's a relatively high-grade ore.
And when we talk about monetary effects, because of the high quality that this uranium is, it actually makes uranium fields in other states worth money now because they can be blended with their lower-grade uranium.
When you consider the impact that the ore contained in the Arizona Strip could have on the nation's supply of uranium, all of this controversy and concern seems short-sighted, especially when a typical uranium mine is about the same size as a Walmart parking lot.
These type of ore bodies are almost ideal for uranium production in that they're contained to a very small area. The life cycle is short. The environmental impacts are very minimal.
This mine here, from the time it was first entered as an exploration target until reclamation was complete, was 8 years. And a very short duration for a mine. During that time, this 20-acre mine site produced enough energy to power the city of Phoenix for 20 years.
Another element of the debate on uranium that is often misunderstood is the issue of water. The Arizona Strip sites have ideal water characteristics for mining.
These are above the water table. I mean, we're here, and the river to the south of us has dropped the water table 1,000 feet below the level of the mining activity here. This prevents or eliminates the threat of contamination to the groundwater.
According to the environmental impact statement, the effects on water among the alternatives is minimal, but the study does acknowledge that there are a number of unknowns.
So a lot of the projections they're based on the best available science, but there's still, the EIS does acknowledge there's a higher degree of risk and uncertainty when you're projecting what may happen north of the canyon versus south of the canyon regarding water resources.
And finally, what about after the mine has run out? Because of the minimal surface disturbance in removing the mostly vertical veins of uranium, reclamation efforts are easy to complete and have been done with great success. That's why when the Secretary of the Interior called for a 6-month temporary emergency withdrawal of the full 1 million acres that have been studied for the past 2 years, and then directed the BLM to identify the full 1 million acre withdrawal as the preferred alternative in the final environmental impact statement, it left government officials from both Arizona and Utah scratching their heads. Over the past 50 years, mining has produced a number of high-paying jobs in rural counties to the south.
There's a real impact when jobs like these are threatened. When Ken Salazar makes his announcements to do an emergency withdrawal, I don't think it anticipates the impact that can have.
Coconino County in Arizona is worried that the mining will negatively affect tourism in their county from the increase in trucks hauling the ore through their communities on the way to Bland in Utah. However, Mohave County in Arizona is in support of the project.
And this benefits not only Mohave County, but obviously Utah and the state of Arizona.
But Scott Florence from the Arizona Strip office of the BLM is quick to point out that the preferred alternative is not necessarily the final decision.
The Secretary hasn't made the final decision yet. That'll come at the end of this process. Probably the biggest area of change between the draft and the final will be the economic analysis.
The BLM is expected to complete their final EIS this October and present the Secretary with a record of decision by November. For the county seat, I'm Malia Bascom.
Thank you, Malia, for the background on the situation on the Arizona Strip. We will start our panel discussion discussing the withdrawal of the 6-month moratorium on the Arizona Strip in just a minute with our guests right here on the county seat.
In order for there to be adventure, there must first be a land that offers it. In order for there to be discovery, there must first be something undiscovered. It's time you discovered northeastern Utah's dinosaur lands, the trails, water, beauty, and history that have been 65 million years in the making. Take your journey to a destination where adventure is only limited by your imagination. Join us in Uinta County, Undiscovered Utah.
The State of Utah School and Institutional Trust Lands Administration. SITLA manages 3.5 million acres of Utah lands with the express purpose of furthering the education of Utah students while promoting local industry, oil and gas, even residential development, all at the same time. Through the careful use of trust lands, we distributed more than $22 million to Utah schools last year. The State of Utah School and Institutional Trust Lands Administration, building the state's permanent school fund.
What is play? Is it culture? Is it adventure? Is it...
Ooh, it's a destination.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's correct.
Cedar City and Bryan Head Resort in the heart of Iron County, where outdoor excitement, culture, and the iron industry melts together. Come and forge a new adventure where play is the thing. You haven't forgotten how to play. It's just that you haven't been to the right place yet.
Are you looking for a getaway, a place to beat the heat, crowds, and find adventure? Get to the point. Just get off I-15 in Beaver, Utah, and head up State Route 153 to Eagle Point Resort, a year-round destination nestled just outside the community of Beaver, Utah. Get to the point. Eagle Point Resort.